Welcome back to The Project. Well, a world-first report from Australia has revealed just how little we know about the causes of infertility. And it turns out many men may have no idea what's going on in their pants.
Sorry?
But doctor, if there is nothing the matter with me, why aren't my husband and I having the children we want?
I think while Mr. Bennett is here, we'd better ask him to come in.
But surely you aren't suggesting that there is something wrong with George, are you, doctor?
Back in 1948, George probably wouldn't have had access to a lot of research on male infertility. Even today, there's surprisingly little. But that's finally starting to change, with a major new report examining more than 95,000 IVF treatments in Australia and New Zealand in 2020.
Why, do you think it's me?
It reveals that male infertility accounted for a third of IVF treatments. 20% of them exclusively due to the male, just over 11% a combination of male and female infertility.
Certainly in the past, IVF has been seen to be a woman's issue, but we now know and it's widely acknowledged that the male has a major part to play in the outcomes of these treatments. So I really think we've turned a corner in touching on such sensitive issues as male infertility.
I guess that means that it's me, that I'm sterile.
While the origin of many cases of male infertility can be traced to factors like cancer treatment or vasectomies, for the vast majority of men, the cause is unknown, and many men won't discover the problem until it's too late.
Tiny sperms.
Until a few years ago, the Australian data collection just said, is there a male factor, yes or no, with no details. So this is the first time that national data has been collected where we're asking particularly what type of infertility the man is suffering.
Kathy's going to be fine, George. Why don't you sit down and smoke a cigarette?
Actually, plausible 1940s doctor, cigarettes won't help George's condition. It's one of the many lifestyle factors that can impact sperm health.
One of the things we've come to realise is how important it is in the preconception period for men to address issues in their lifestyle. It turns out that things like smoking or being obese or having poorly controlled diabetes can adversely affect the sperm.
So will this report help erase the stigma of male infertility? And can we finally stop taking advice from this guy?
Isn't there some way I can get around this?
No, there isn't.
Well, John and Laura Summers are the proud parents of a beautiful one-year-old, but know a thing or two about male infertility, and they join us now. John, unlike the majority of men, you knew the cause of your condition following testicular cancer 10 years ago. For a long time, you believed you'd never have kids. How did that feel?
That's a great question. It felt pretty terrible. And just in normal, I guess, bloke fashion, I made up a story, and that story was that I couldn't have kids. I guess by doing that, that removed me having to feel the pain, and it gave me a chance to actually move forward and just carry on with life. I actually made the distinction that I'll just go and take everyone else's kids and I'll give them back at the end of the day.
That would make you very popular.
I did find that, yes.
Guys, you've just written a book called The Man's Guide to Infertility. You've interviewed a lot of men. What did you learn?
Well, I think one of the major things we learned was men are hurting just as much as the female counterparts, and we basically don't have the resources or the support structures that the women have set up for themselves. And I guess the biggest thing is just men do not talk. It's like pulling blood from a stone. Getting our group to even help each other out or share their story. So I think that was the big one.
Well, Laura, we know that you guys have such a wonderful, happy ending to the story. We can hear your little baby in the background there, but it's almost like I feel that women have this constant ticking of this biological clock, right, that has been drilled into us. I don't think that's the same with men, though. Is that something that they need to be more aware of?
Yeah, I think so. I think it really should be part of standard medical testing, because if you have that information earlier in life, you can make different choices. It's much easier to test men for fertility than it is to test women. So, you know, why aren't we doing that earlier? And I think you're right, it is because men just don't think of it in the same way that women do. But then when they come to wanting to have children, they wish they'd done something different earlier.
So what advice would you give to men out there, John, either hoping to become fathers or struggling with an infertility diagnosis?
Well, I guess don't wait. You don't have to wait for a diagnosis if you actually want to go and get checked. If you want a health checkup, you just go and get it done. But why not add this as part of the tests? I guess for me, it was easier just not to know, and I think that might be the same for a lot of men out there. But if they were to just add this in, and at the end of the day, it's just a challenge you have to overcome. And if you have knowledge, if you have information, you're able to make better steps moving forward.
And I think also reach out for support. There is support out there. There's starting to be more and more books and social media accounts. We have a support group for men on Facebook. And just actually get some support, because you can't support your partner through infertility if you're not taking care of yourself as well.
Well, John and Laura, thank you both so much for sharing your story, and congratulations. A little late, about a year, but congratulations nonetheless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
More Project after the break.